Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. For how long, we don't know. We're not signed yet in terms of service. Sorry, I'm going to be demonetized before the show even starts. What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth, starting on this channel at 11 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. What's going on, everybody? It's Side Scrollers. Joining us today, as Travis is out sick, sounding like RFK Jr. I'm telling you, he sounds like shit. But today, Blabs is joining us. Hello, Blabs.
Hello, I am not dead. Just pointing that out.
You are
I
not.
was
You
dead,
are
but
here.
now I'm not. Anymore.
Looking great, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not dead.
You have recovered from, was it the COVID?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that one. I'm just like blowing my nose, coughing. I went to bed before 8 o'clock for the last like 3 days in a row.
So it was like
dead.
cold.
Yeah.
But you're okay?
I will survive, like the song says.
Good for you. Way to go.
Yeah.
You've done it.
Yeah.
It is Monday, which means joining us in incredible Technicolor, but saturated all the way down. It's RazörFist.
Everyone, vaccines are bad. All right, folks.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I just impersonated a Kennedy. I need to keep away from Windows now. I think.
Oh, no. With his glasses on Monday, we're ready to go. Looking sharp.
All right.
Welcome,
everyone. I'm excited. It's Heavy Metal Monday. That's what's going on here.
There you go.
By the way, every time I have not mentioned it every single time I've been on, but every time I just want to hear that Mega Man X remix to the end. Is that not one of the most banging soundtracks? Okay, real quick. Best Mega Man X soundtrack of all of them.
You just heard it.
The first one?
Yeah.
I think it's a contender. I think it is. My personal favorite would be X3 of all those soundtracks.
Well, Razor, I think you're going to be excited about what I have to talk about today. This is going to be, because I got a big announcement here coming up in just a couple minutes, which I can't wait to share with everybody. But before we get to that, I want to remind everybody, if you guys are watching, join one of the 5 billion. That is the goal today for thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up button. The goal is 5 billion. Can we hit it? Let's see if we can do that. Hit the thumbs up button right now. I'd really appreciate that. Let people know the show is happening Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. We are live over on Rumble as well, rumble.com/sidescrollers. If you're looking for an alternative to the YouTube crap space, you can join us over there. You can follow us over on Twitter at SidescrollerPod. And we have an Instagram. Isn't that right, Blabs?
We do. And I've been posting memes there and whatnot. So come check us out because it's a fun time.
We are growing like...
Do you have Instagram?
What's up?
Do you have Instagram?
No,
I didn't think so.
No, I barely just started a MySpace last week, actually.
Okay.
I'm a little behind.
I went searching for it, and I was like, why can't I find him? And the most weirdest things for RazörFist pops up. So I was like, this can't be him.
Oh, yeah, there's a porn photographer named RazörFist, I learned.
Ooh.
Yes. There's a out there. Fantastic. I learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go in and secure all that branding early on, otherwise the porn guys
I
get it.
didn't get on my
Copyright that.
usernames early enough.
That's awesome. I love it. But do you own myspace.com/RazörFist?
Maybe. I have no idea. Probably not. I have no idea.
I'm sure somebody right now is going in and be like, I own it. Yes.
Right.
Mine.
Well, I'm not going to start a post-hardcore band in the year 2005, so I think I'm good on not having that username.
No, it's awesome. That's right. As Turgo says, Turgo's like, somebody claim it. Get in there. Claim it now. There it is.
Squatters' rights.
That's awesome. Speaking of claiming things, we just claimed our 44,000th subscriber over on YouTube, up 6,000 in the last 2 weeks. We want to appreciate everybody popping in and subscribing to our channel. We are growing like a weed, and we're glad you guys have joined us. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We'd love for you to join us, which is great. Also, listen to this. Listen to this son of a bitch. Captain Anonymous Weasel is our first new member today. Our goal is always 20 every show. Can we get to 20? Can we get to 20 as Captain Anonymous makes it 1? Let's go. Oh, that's 5 months. Love that. Thank you so much, Captain Anonymous Weasel. You little weasel. Do you get that reference, Razor?
No.
You little weasel. No.
No,
I just thought you were insulting someone.
I am simultaneously older and younger than everyone thinks I am.
Yeah.
So chances are better than not I miss all your references.
Did you ever see the great 1988 classic? I think maybe 88, maybe 80. 89, I think it was. Weird Al Cinema Classic UHF.
Okay, I've heard I need to watch it, but no, I haven't seen it.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'll fly you right down to Texas right now just so we can watch that together. It is so much fun.
Watch it on a big screen.
Oh my god! I will rent out a movie theater. I
yes!
straight up rent out a movie theater.
There we go. For Side Scrollers Hangout happening with Fist and Craig. We're gonna watch UHF.
Let's go. Love everything about that.
Make it fun.
Man, let me tell you something that is happening, which I'm not super excited about. Razor, did you see last week the TikTok meme of the women doing the hot dog thing?
Yes. Making that pussy port swing thing going on. That whole deal is fantastic.
Yeah. So guess what? I am doing that today on stream. Over on the the Side Scrollers Plays channel. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel, you can find me doing that today. I have string, I have a hot dog, and
where did you find the string though, Craig? You said you couldn't find it.
Okay, so I had to make my way to the
Dude, if you tell me you went to the craft store like an old grumpy boomer mom, I'm gonna shit.
I went to Hobby Lobby.
You survived. They didn't force you to walk out with a Bible and a giant cross, did they?
That's right. Yeah, they're like, we don't celebrate Halloween here. It's awesome. So yes, I have the string. I have actually, it's not even a hot dog. It's a straight up sausage. It's applewood.
Is it a really big one? Like so you can catch it really well in your mouth?
It's not like a kielbasa deep throat sausage.
He prefers more the Vienna cocktail crank going on. If you gotta have
the blanket style, yeah.
If you gotta have a kielbasa anywhere near your mouth, you prefer the smallest kind.
So I'll be doing that today over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel, which is great. Make sure you guys join me over there. It should be awesome. Tomorrow, though, man, I am very excited about this. I've been talking about this for a week. I didn't get a chance to announce this, but tomorrow, after the ridiculous fun that was the Mario Funathon that started back in, I don't know, the start of the summer and went for 3 months. Tomorrow we begin our next Funathon. And Razor, I think you'll be quite interested to hear that the next Funathon is for Mega Man. The OG Mega Man series starting tomorrow over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. The Mega Man Funathon begins and playing Mega Man every day, which is great. So
you're just picking a different Mega Man game or the same one?
So I'm playing initially 1 through 6 with the potential of adding 7, 8, 9, and 10. So make sure you guys are there tomorrow.
No, 11. 11 was actually really good.
Oh, 11 may be added as well.
Yeah.
The mainline Mega Man games, the OG. So, but
we're
no X's.
mainlining Mega Man. There we are.
Straight into your veins. So that'll be tomorrow. The Mega Man Funathon begins mañana, which is great. So yeah, so much going on. It's ridiculous. But appreciate everybody popping in. Lots of excitement for Mega Man, which is good. And You, Me, and the Movies coming in with that membership for 5 months has got me a Twinkie Wiener sandwich from UHF. Mrs. Movies loves them. Oh, man, the Twinkie Wiener sandwich.
I've never had a Twinkie before.
No?
No.
Why not? What are you? You're missing
it's
out.
It's like, can it survive like a freaking nuclear bomb? Like, I don't want that in me.
Then again, I found myself in the same position several years ago. I just kind of woke up one day and was like, I've gone many, many years of my life without ever tasting a Twinkie.
See?
And then I started buying entirely too much of them.
Oh, no.
I must have gained like between 5 and 10 pounds.
Oh dear.
I went slightly hog on the Twinkies. I don't mind. I went through an almost fat phase.
almost
fat.
Just a little bit of chub.
Fat adjacent.
Hey,
Pleasantly
but
plump.
we accept you for who you are, Razor, and everything. Yeah. If you want to gain 50 pounds and be, Razor, I don't know what, Razor fat. There you go.
There we are.
Razor fat.
Love that. We'll accept you.
A ragu fist.
Shaker Maker came in with that membership for 4 months. Says, make your wiener fly, Craig. All right. Well, thanks, Shaker Maker. Appreciate that. We'll be flipping and flopping all over the place in a little bit.
Fat fist.
Dude came in with the $1. Says, hey, Hobby Lobby actually has Gundam model kits. They can't be all that bad.
They do?
That's the first time I've heard that.
They never have any BattleTech stuff. That's I need all that stuff. Although I do get model paints there all the time. I think I just felt my virginity grow back, actually.
Man, yeah, it's funny to see like Hobby Lobby be protested against. That there's Hobby Lobby and Chick-fil-A, and go down the list. It's so fun to see those companies and then watch them just kind of succeed and do it after the protest happens. Yeah. I'm never gonna buy that. I'm never gonna go there. Extra Zero came in and says, Blabs, didn't you all give Mazza a hard time for not knowing what a Twinkie was?
Oh, 100%. I know what it is. I've just never had one. I know what they look like and everything.
Pretty much lost all credibility with me right now, Blabs.
No. You hear the words come out of my mouth. I know what they are, Craig.
Yeah.
And Picasso says, my ears are bleeding. Oh, you mean your ear, Picasso? Welcome back, Blabs. Thank you, Picasso. Appreciate that. Love that. Oops. There you go. All right. Let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment. Your favorite segment. Everybody, the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Paul. All right. Video game news and entertainment news from around the world. We're here ready to go. That's what we do here on Side Scrollers. And, occasionally we get into some other stuff. And we may get into a little bit of that today. But, hey, this is all fun and dandy. I saw this news story. I wanted to pop off here because I thought this isn't really a news story. But I thought this was, pardon the pun, but rather shitty. You see, there's this guy named Ice Poseidon. He is an IRL streamer. You heard of this guy, Razor?
Yeah, a little bit from the last time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was, we talked, I think we talked about him last time. And oddly enough, he popped up today. But he was out doing his IRL streaming thing. And, giving away your location is a negative thing in my book. Yeah. You probably shouldn't give your location away.
Really?
Well,
I've gone all this time handing out my exact location, GPS information, and a list of my fears. Shit.
Well,
you mean doxing isn't bad? What do you mean?
Especially when you're doxing yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the most amazing thing, putting your location on stream like a GTA thing. But this is what happened when this guy was out on a pier somewhere or just out walking around when this guy came up who stream sniped them. You see stream sniping all the time in video games where people hop into lobbies. Like I was playing F-Zero 99 the other day. So people were hopping in who were watching. They also were coming in to play alongside me. Or in some cases, people go in to try to find you and kill you in Call of Duty games or things like that. Right. This is the same type of thing, except IRL, right? Where this guy was out and about, and sure enough, guess what happens? He's walking around, and well, this happens.
You live in Adelaide? Yeah. I'm in Liverpool. Oh, what the hell?
Okay, so we get something poured on him.
Ew.
By somebody who's watching, right?
I don't even have to ask if that's urine.
Ew.
You
I
don't,
hope it's
because
just Gatorade.
truly confirmed, it is piss and shit dumped on him. And
Hey, what? You just wanted to go out for Chipotle? No big deal. Fine,
So
whatever.
so the guy runs off like an asshole, right? He does it. This is the equivalent of like of a Twitter response, right? Somebody's trying to like throw shit and piss on your head, and then running off and not wanting to have consequences. So he runs off. The guy he's like, haha. The guy's like laughing about it. What do you pour on me? So the guy runs off, and sure enough, his security catches up with him. And this is what happens.
Oh
Well, I
my!
just want to know what you poured on me because it smells like shit. We just want to know what you poured on me. What is it?
Puts him in a chokehold.
Oh
Puts
my
him in a-
god!
Yes.
Oh, I saw that Subway video. This isn't going to end well.
Well, I mean, it smells really smell this time.
It smells like shit. If he had scabs in his head, would he get fucking sepsis?
Hold
What
on, hold
did
on.
you pour on him?
I mean, if it's poop water,
So he's got a picture of it, and it looks like shit in his head, right? Like just ugh.
I like how they're interrogating this guy like they need a reason to go take a shower. That's literally what he just said. He's like, now if it's shit water, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower. What?
Right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have showered? What exactly?
Right.
Somebody as a rule, when somebody dumps something on you that smells even vaguely poop related, you probably should go take a shower. It's probably.
Weren't they by the water too? I just honestly would just empty my pockets and just run right into the water.
I don't know. You ever been to the beach? It might not be
Depends
much
what
different from
beach.
having poop water dumped on your head.
Depends on what beach.
Yeah.
So this guy, they're down in Australia, right? And this guy, he's getting choked out by security, rightfully so, right? I think that, and I don't even know if this guy's security, maybe his friend or something, but let's continue on.
You can't just go and pour random, it could be acid, it could be anything, you know? Can't pour random liquids on people.
So at this point, he's choked out. his ass is face down on the ground. Yeah.
Has he said a word yet? Did he respond at all?
No, not in this little clip. He may have said something, but yeah, he's just choked the fuck out at this point. So
I mean, he's nonverbal autistic. It would explain the behavior.
Right.
You want to take over? All right, there you go. I don't think he's going around anywhere at this point.
Like the guy's gone, like straight up gone. And you notice time has passed here. It's probably it's dusk.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Right. So the cops finally showed up after this guy's been, choking him out for the last little bit.
This is Australia, right, too?
This is Australia, yes.
So this is the country where the only way to defend yourself is to call the cops, and it's taking this long for the cops to show up, just FYI.
Right.
You're not allowed to own like a pea shooter. You're not allowed to own a water pistol in this fucking country.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, it did. It got in my mouth, got in my eyes. I mean, if I get a disease from this, I really hope he gets like if I get hepatitis or something, I really hope he gets jailed. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I guess he will probably get like a first offender, probably like probation or something. But I mean, whatever, a couple days in jail, like get fucked. Like, you live in Adelaide?
So, I mean, he's way more chill about it than I would ever be. Right.
Right.
I got to be honest. If somebody pours shit and piss on me, and he's being held down, I'm stomping a fucking mud hole in that guy's ass, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm going straight up Stone Cold Steve Austin on his ass.
Right? I was gonna, oh hell yeah!
Right. I mean, it goes beyond. Yes, this is obviously way too far, right? Nobody should ever dump shit or piss on anybody,
Right.
Regardless
Unless,
of
course,
it.
they're
Like,
marketing a cologne for the French.
but I just think this really exacerbates the idea that you probably shouldn't walk around telling everybody where you're at all times. Just a simple idea, especially when you have an audience that is of several tens of thousands that are watching you at one point. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Blabs, do you have any? You want to chime in on this at all? I'm sure you've poured shit and piss on somebody before.
I would attempt to beat the shit out of someone, but I don't think I really could. I'm only 5'4", so I'd be pissed. Let's put it that way.
Gnaw on those shins.
The beaches aren't really clean in Australia, so honestly, I would have just jumped right onto the water.
Height isn't an issue. The height actually becomes an advantage. You could work those nads like a speed bag.
Bro. I'm really good at kicking though, so maybe I'd be the right height to kick him in the balls.
Go at it like Tyson on a speed bag. Goes nuts.
I love it. I love that idea. What was that movie where? No, it was Dumb and Dumber, where Jim Carrey goes down and does that on the guy's nuts and takes a big bite at him. Rawr! Absolutely. I'm sure that will
montage.
Yeah, the Legion will absolutely meme the shit out of that. And we will see that by the end of the show, I'm sure.
Survivor music intensifies.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think you would. You may see something like that in the United States, but I think if you saw it anywhere, let's just say in Texas, right?
Forget about it.
I think that guy doesn't go an extra 10 feet after you learn that. I mean, I think he's face down, but he's dead.
I don't think he goes an extra 10 breaths. I don't think there's way too many armed individuals for people to be flinging shit water around.
Yeah. Andrew says that must have been staged. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so. Who put somebody in a chokehold for stage? Like, you could have killed someone.
And the cops showing up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how you stage that, but yeah. You don't get pooped. You get popped. That's right. That's right. Nodding came in with the $5 super chat. Says High Schoolers needs to start a new series. Blabs experiences life where she tries food, music, shows, and movies she's not familiar with.
Yeah.
Blabs is life. Yeah.
This is a taco, Blabs. Have you ever had this before?
Yeah. Listen, the next time you and I are both in Florida together, we'll go to one of those fast food chains, and I'll try another food. We're actually recorded this time. Where did we go? Chick-fil-A? Is that where we went to? No. Where did we go?
Blabs never had Chick-fil-A before.
No, didn't I? Where did you take me?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, there you go. That was the one I never went to.
Ridiculous. Only like the most popular restaurant in America.
Unless you're from Chicago, they're banned from Chicago.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're too into Jesus, I guess, is the way that works. So they banned them from Chicago. Sorry. I'm afraid street corner gang violence is the only thing allowed in fucking Chicago. Jesus Christ. If you want to set up shop in Chicago, you'll have to be murdering someone else, like all the rest of us.
Yeah. What he said.
That's how it works. That's right. We have rules. We have standards, standards. Drive-by commenter came in with a $10 super chat. Says, hello, everyone. Razor. Just wanted to give my appreciation of your video. The public domain is an ass. Okay. Used to be mixed opinion, but now in the AI age, I have been humbled. Thank you, Drive-by commenter.
Aged rather well. Yeah.
Yes. Cajun Corey came in with the 199. Says, hail, Craig, Blabs, and Razor. Thank you so much, Cajun Corey. Great to see you, buddy.
It's paid.
Matthew came in with the 5. Says, remember that rebuttal video where the guy looks at the Corwin Amendment and says, I thought you said the war wasn't about slavery. He's a historian.
Who?
Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that. E. Smith says, Razor, good news. I'm a small combo Ghost of the Badlands supporter. Bad news, haven't been able to super chat you since August. Please have Taryn unban me.
Well, thank you for supporting Ghost of the Badlands. I don't really know how to ban and unban people on the YouTube channel. That's what Taryn handles. I don't know.
Damn it, Taryn. One man's army's swamp party says Razor Force Assemble. Also found a copy of the Warriors from the Xbox out in St. Petersburg for $30 while I was out there for Bridgestone.
Is that like one of the top 5 most underrated games of that generation? The Warriors game?
That's the that was the one that was based on the 1970s movie, right?
Yeah, out of nowhere. That was like a weird period in gaming. You remember that, where there were just like all these games based on like 70s movies all of a sudden. They like greenlit a Dirty Harry game that never came out. There was a Scarface game that's 80s, but you get my drift. Like out of nowhere, just a game based on Scarface. What the fuck? And then Warriors and I think RoboCop, that crappy RoboCop game came around that time, and it was weird. It was like a strange phase, like late 2000s, right in that area.
Well, if you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense, because everybody who grew up with those things were now in positions where they can get those things greenlit. Right. And they're like, my audience would totally be into this. Right. So I think, have you seen the gameplay of the new RoboCop game that's coming out?
I haven't seen the gameplay. I've been interested in it. I'm not sure. I know they had to delay it. So, and the last time I bought a RoboCop game at launch, it didn't end well. So I'm holding off until I see a little more.
It's amazing how, like, my thoughts on RoboCop start and stop with the NES version.
Yeah.
the Nintendo game, the original Nintendo game, was horrifically bad, and that's always put a damper on my thoughts.
Oh, the old arcade game though was great. I love that game. But I don't know, man. Of course they now have RoboCop in New York City, so it's the future. It's a giant egg. It's a giant egg on rollerblades, guys. It's the future.
It's totally not going to get vandalized and you're covered in graffiti. No,
right. No. This thing is going to be an outhouse for hobos inside of a day.
But Rogue City, by the way, looks really good. You kind of have that like stomping feat, that thought, that feel of RoboCop.
That's what I was wondering, is like, how's the movement work? It's not like super fast. It's actually kind of slow and methodical.
Yeah. You kind of make your way through. Boom, 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 boom. Like, you can't really run as RoboCop, right? Like he's never. Now he does have a jetpack. Now here comes the bullet time effects, but it is very bloody, as you can tell, which we'll probably get flagged for that on YouTube for that. But they get shooting guys in the face there. Oh my god! So yeah,
okay. That won some points right there. I have to say, punching a man's face into a fine mist. I'm okay with this.
I appreciate that this bank manager, just looking at this on its face value, this bank manager was just held up in a hostage situation. RoboCop came in, literally destroyed a guy's face like a man's cracking a fucking eggshell.
Right.
And this guy's just like, hey, thanks.
Hey, I'm covered in blood and bone fragments. Thanks for that, RoboCop. I appreciate it. Of course, that's nothing. If you watch the movie, he liquefies that dude's privates. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, what a brilliant scene, man. Anyways, looking forward to that. That'll be coming out soon. Back to the story. Emperor Creatine says, I didn't know the Great Mighty Pooh started stream sniping people. Oh, nice reference right there. Nice. Thank you, Emperor Creatine. And the Highland Juggalo came in and says, speaking of OG Xbox PS2 gen, I want a sequel to Freedom Fighters. That'll never happen in the modern age. Too many real commies.
It would have to be Fed Fighters.
Lance Corporal Hawk says, Razor, there was a Dirty Harry game in the NES. AVGN reviewed it, unless you're referring to another one.
Yeah, it was a different game, actually. There's screenshots of it. They had the full participation of Clint Eastwood. He had actually recorded dialogue for it already. It was going to be an open world Dirty Harry game, and it was going to come out around 07, 08, something like that. And Warner Brothers Interactive decided to shit can it, which was, I'm still depressed about it, actually. In fact, I think I'm going to go slit my wrist.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Now we're demonetized.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't talk about that. So This is YouTube. Spawn Killer says, Ice Poseidon is a known piece of shit. Ice got his dessert. See, I think that's my thing, right? You can be a piece of shit, but I still don't think you pour shit on people.
Yeah.
That's just my
There's
thing.
a line.
This public decorum thing. You probably shouldn't pour shit or piss on somebody.
Yeah,
but
the first theorem of poo potpourri. Thank you very much. No.
Abdulio came in with the $3. He says a stream prankster recently got shot. He was harassing the wrong person. Has anyone on the panel seen it? Seen it was on Twitter about a day or two ago. The shooter was found not guilty, thankfully. Do you see that video getting passed around?
Oh, yes. The guy who, and people are saying he overreacted. And it's like, he wouldn't explain himself. I think that's the main thing, is the guy had the phone in the guy's face and kept pushing, like he was this close to the guy, and he wouldn't back off, and he wouldn't explain what he was doing. If that's happening to me in a crowded area and I'm armed, it's like, okay, is this guy going to pull a knife on me? Like, what is he going to rob me? What exactly is going to happen here? I kind of don't blame the guy, honestly. And again, the guy survived. It's not like he went for a headshot or something, but I don't know. If I have a defensive weapon, that may well be a defense situation. I don't know.
You talk about that guy who was like at a counter or something, and he was being harassed like right up the phone.
Yeah, he was like hovering. He was like hovering over him, and the guy kept trying to back away, and the dude just wouldn't leave him alone. And the phone at one point was like practically against his T-zone, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's worthy of like a gunshot. I feel like there's so much context there too, like what happened before we started recording.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know, right? But I do agree with B. Hamilton here. Says this era of instant TikTok clout is going to get people killed.
Yes.
It already has, objectively. Yeah. I mean, when that one TikToker who fucking climbs Mount Doom and plummeted to his death off that Dubai tower or whatever, like a couple of weeks ago, like that shit's going to happen more and more.
Yeah, it's I think we're very much entering the phase of fuck around and find out.
Oh, TikTok is Darwin's waiting room. Like, it's literally what it is.
Extra Zero came in with the 5, says, if you like that one scene in RoboCop, go watch Fatal Farm's comedy remake of RoboCop. There's a comedy remake of RoboCop. I love that. Scene 27 on Vimeo. Beyond funny, but beyond not safe for YouTube. I think I've actually seen that. The remake of that. Is that the one, Extra Zero, where they had a bunch of different people remake RoboCop in their own art style, scene for scene? I think I remember hearing about that a while back. But thank you so much, Extra Zero. Once again,
as long as it's not that shitty 2014 one. Fuck that nonsense.
You're right.
The hell was that? Not a bad Power Ranger film, though.
Yeah, they didn't make a sequel to that one, did they?
Thank God.
Yeah, it got shit canned. Tommy Reviews says, anyone remember the canceled Highlander open world game? That was a good way. Of development and got yanked. I don't recall that one. Once again, going back to Highlander. Not many people are like, I really need a Highlander game. But that's why
people don't even want sequels to the film. Why would they want a fucking game?
Peter came in, says the bank manager is an average Detroit citizen.
Yeah, you know what? That is the missing context there, Craig. He is living in Detroit, bro.
He's like, yeah. All right, thanks. Appreciate that, RoboCop.
Some shit. You hand him a moist towelette, he's good to go.
Jegs Dino God says, how do I throw poo in Hunt Showdown for reasons?
Right. It's the tomahawk perk. You can just throw any old fucking thing.
Thanks, Jegs. John Kanji says, I am the great mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my shit at you.
That was beautiful, Craig.
Yeah, there's some dulcet tones there.
Thank you.
Now say, this is CNN.
This is CNN.
There we
are.
Wow.
There you go.
Got some soul there.
Critical. What's that supposed to mean? Critical
100%.
Oratory says one does not TikTok up Mountain Dew. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Try to avoid that. And TZ says TikTok is the best great filter. If you're smart, you make money without dying. But if you're not, you die, and someone makes money off your death. There you go.
It's like Hunger Games, really.
And Bolo came in with the $4.99. Says, Razor, what's your opinion on Mad Cave's Nottingham comics?
I assume that's like the indie Nottingham comic that came out not that long ago. I haven't seen that much of it. I've been reading the Nottingham the French comic, the BD, that one's really good. Basically, so do you remember that Robin Hood movie, that really shitty one that came out in like 2010?
Yes.
Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, so the original premise of that was that the Robin Hood was going to be like a terrorist. It was going to be an inversion of the Robin Hood myth. Robin Hood was going to be a terrorist, and Nottingham was going to be like the hero of the story, kind of like they were going to reverse. And Ridley Scott's original idea was that. And then the studio got a hold of it, and they were like, no, fuck that. Only a Robin Hood movie is going to sell. So you got to cast Russell Crowe. It's got to be a normal Robin Hood movie. So the whole movie winds up getting remade. Anyway, so this French comic company got a hold of that idea, basically, and made a whole series about that. So it's essentially an inversion of the Robin Hood myth. But it's really good. Really beautiful art.
It's funny, when you really think about Robin Hood, and you think about that idea, the idea of like robbing from the rich to give to the poor. It's like this noble idea that over history we've thought like, it's this great idea. These guys are too wealthy. Let's distribute all this wealth over here.
But that's not even the myth, really. He's stealing from the government and giving to the poor. If you break it down, like he's not really stealing from the rich. He's stealing from the government. People get that wrong. But yeah.
Well, you know, when you think about that, nowadays he'd be labeled a domestic terrorist. And
he definitely would be if he stole from the government.
Yeah.
All right, what is your take on Robin Hood Men in Tights, RazörFist?
I love that movie.
It's like the best movie ever, isn't
It's a shame, though. Do you know the connection there with Michael Jackson?
No.
No?
The allegations against Michael Jackson were made by the man who wrote that movie, Evan Chandler. He used his connections with Michael Jackson to pitch the movie to Mel Brooks. So him and his son, the accuser from 1993, are the ones who leveled those accusations against Michael Jackson in the 90s that got settled and ultimately resolved in 2005. So,
holy shit.
Huh.
If you have like the more you know logo, now would be the time to flash that across the screen.
Seriously.
I feel like I definitely need to have that asset, you know, just whenever you're on, because I feel like I needed to use that probably 2 or 3 times today. Right.
Gotta have a 12 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing.
Oh, that's great stuff. Mike has bad knees, wants to know, hey, what does BD mean, Blabs?
Big dick? Or is it like BD1, like the Star Wars droid and, the EA games?
I'm not even going to correct her because that was adorable.
Am I wrong?
I'm not even gonna...
And we're done. All right.
I don't know.
Well, you've been a wonderful audience. It's like George Costanza signing off of the fucking meeting.
Just walking off doing the
yes. You've been a great audience, folks.
Am I wrong?
Critical Orc Theory came in with the 5, says, if you're going to stream snipe, do it with the default orc range weapon like that guy. That's right. Thanks, Critical Orc Theory. And GK came in as a member, says, sounds like a good Robin Hood in reverse, that I usually hate to hear. Yeah. Thank you, GK. Matthew came in with the 10, says, I actually really like Kevin Costner Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner Robin Hood film. It was a pretty fun film.
That's one of my favorite movies ever. I love that movie.
Isn't that Alan Rickman in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
God. There's this great deleted scene from that. If you get the director's cut, which I don't think is on Blu-ray yet. But if you get the director's cut, there's like extra scenes, and a lot of them are with the Sheriff of Nottingham, with Alan Rickman. Mm-hmm. And there's this great moment where, because the whole byplay is that he's got that witch underneath the castle, right? Yeah. He's like a Satan worshiper, but he's pretending to be the head of the church.
Right.
So this great scene where he's like in front of a satanic altar with a big upside down cross and whatever. He's like, he's supplicating Satan, his arms outspread. And then all of a sudden the church bell rings and he flips around, whips off the hood, turns the cross the other way and goes, well, my other God calls. I love that. Oh man, that movie's great. That movie's absolutely great.
It's the song I remember from that is that's the song that all for one and one for all. No, that's Three Musketeers. No,
that is Three Musketeers.
Yeah,
are you okay?
No, sure. I'm reliving early '90s movies. Hold on. There was
he's gonna have a Mitch McConnell freeze up moment here any minute.
It was everything I do for you. That's what it was. Everything I do it for you. That's what it was.
Bryan Adams.
Yes.
Oh, if I never hear that song again, it'll be too fucking soon. Brutal.
Oh my god.
You can actually, if you listen to that song, you can actually hear the mullet.
It's true.
Just waving in the background.
Yes.
Rubbing against the microphone.
You know what's good though, related to that movie, is the game, the NES game.
Is it?
You mean a Robin Hood NES game?
That was like my first RPG. I love that game.
Yeah, I never got into it. I remember it had a full spread in Nintendo Power, like a big 8-page spread. Never got into it though.
I love it to death.
Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do with you, like games that you love that other people don't, like underrated personal games.
Oh yeah,
I love
a lot of them. Omicron, I love Omicron. There's a lot of games that people hate that I love. Duke Nukem Forever, anyone? That's right. Bring on the hate. Bring on the hate.
Toxic masculinity.
I shall shower in it.
Just bathe in it.
All over my face, neck, and chest.
All right, nice. The real smile bit came in, showering us with 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. The real smile bit. That's awesome. Let's keep going with that. Really appreciate the 10 gifted memberships. That's great. Thank you so much. If you got gifted a membership, make sure you say thanks. I think that's really important. Shane says the Kevin Costner Robin Hood had the best opening theme song. Hashtag come at me, bro. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but so does Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah, they both have a good soundtrack.
Leave us alone, Mel Brooks.
Hardcore Bunny says, "Hey Razor, I think Twitter auto blocked me on your behalf because another guy blocked me, but he says he didn't, and his list of people and his list has people he didn't block."
Oh man, that happens way too often on Twitter.
Yeah,
way too often.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where people are like, "Why am I blocked from you? I don't even know why," and that's crazy. Let's go on to our next story here. This is just a couple quick hits here. And tell me if you care about this at all, Razor. But MTV turns 40 this year. I thought this was pretty funny. Thanks for 14 years of music.
Yeah, but their taste in music turned 80.
Right.
What is it? Gosh, that's great news for people who love really shitty reality shows no one watches.
Man, what is the worst thing that MTV has done over the years? Is it the idea of destroying an entire generation of, like, was it maybe Teen Mom, perhaps glorifying teenage pregnancy? I mean, there's a lot.
I don't even know if that's their worst reality show. You know what? It's The Real World, because that unlocked the whole reality TV show horseshit. That is exactly what it is. And that show's not even that bad, but like what it wrought. My God.
The trickle down effect. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
absolute trickle down effect of The Real World, which was revolutionary for its time, but I don't know, it's crazy. You know, the one reality show that I watch nowadays is a show called Special Forces, where they get all the celebrities in and they do Special Forces training with them. And and there's the reason I like it, and I'm sure like most reality shows, there's a lot of bullshit that's staged. But the reason I like it is that there's no prize at all. Like, they're not giving them money to charity. They're not giving money to the winner. It's just like, you do it and you
charity. Needy bastards. Craig hates charity. Fucking clip it.
Confirmed. Fuck your charity. All right, let's go.
All right, 43-44. Thank you.
There you go. Love it. No, I'm just saying, but they have to do it for their own accord, and they have to just get it to the end. The reward is them finishing the course. Yeah, you know, I just think that's a fun way to do it for sure. So
yes.
All right, let's move on to our next story here. Thanks, MTV, for 40 years of television and 14 years of massive music. Actually, all right, let's bring it back to video games here. We have a voice actor in the video game space. Who has worked for Ubisoft with Watchdog Legions, but she's an actor for other things. By the way, actor, actress, I don't know, whatever you want to say, I don't really care. But she is an English actress. Kathy Tyson says she finds the term woke to be, quote, as bad a term as an offensive racial slur. All right. Now, Razor, you're like, did you see this? And I was like, what? And
what
was,
even? I mean, first off, like, I had to look this chick up to even like remember her at all. I don't know anything she's acted in, and I know one thing she's voice acted in. This is only tangentially related to video games because I believe she's in Watch Dogs, which if there's any series that's appropriate to her politics, that would definitely be it. That would definitely be it. Remember the Watch Dogs 2 thing with the Occupy Wall Street and the whole cringy? Oh God, it's crazy too because when that trailer came out, everyone was like, "Wow, this is like a parody of San Francisco." Now it's just documentary footage of modern San Francisco.
Right. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, so let me just kind of see. She did a recent interview with the UK news outlet, The Telegraph. I'm not familiar with The Telegraph. I don't know who they are, but I think they're pretty big over there. It says,
it is pretty big.
Okay. Nodding said she, quote, would have never done an interview with The Telegraph when she was younger due to the publication's conservative leanings. The actress explains that she had since learned that, quote, it's great to talk to people who have different views to you. It's like she learned this at a later age. Okay.
Say nothing of the fact that, like, Telegraph, really? You think this is like talking to Fox News, really?
An outlet she attributed to her time at Brunel University in West London, whose curriculum, quote, taught me how to open my mind to different viewpoints. So that's an interesting thing. You don't hear that very often in college, where it actually opens your mind to different viewpoints.
Right.
However, despite her newfound willingness to, quote, reach across the aisle, Tyson asserted that she took issue with how, quote, I imagine some of the readership used the word woke. For me, it's as bad a term as an offensive racial slur. She explained.
Well, we agree on that.
The terms woke and race card are deeply offensive to me. After
hold on,
nodding,
could you scroll back up to that photo? Could you scroll back?
Oh yeah.
When you look exactly like your politics, she's got the cat lady glasses and the whole 9 yards. All right. Anyway,
after noting that one of her biggest points of frustration was with how the term is regularly used to, quote, undermine progressive ideas, the actress then noted that woke was not the only socio-political shorthand that she had a problem with. The term race card is thrown in your face if you make a criticism of anything, detailed Tyson. Even the term white privilege is very, very divisive. I'm not about sides. There you go. How do we all come together? She ultimately asserted. It's complex. There's a lot of people of all colors who are suffering financially, who are hungry at the moment.
I think that's her dog whistle way of saying, I haven't gotten work in a while. I think
true, that might be if you look at her IMDb page, which I've looked up, she's not known for anything, and she's just trying to make headlines. Yeah, relevant.
That's what this stinks of, right? Yeah, that's what this stinks of.
Will this generate more business opportunities for her?
Claiming that woke is being used as a pejorative against you, like, I have the long-term memory of Biden after a 10-round dust-up with Mike Tyson, okay, folks? And even I remember that it was her side of the political aisle that invented the term woke. Like, if I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, it's, people call it a culture war, and it is now. But honestly, it's a cultural revolution, and it only turned into a culture war when half the country started actually opening fire, basically returning fire. That's what and if you've ever wondered if you return fire in the culture war is registering any damage, stand in wonderment no longer. These comments are generally indicia of this.
Well, I think it's interesting when, once again, words are violence, Razor, and you need to know that. And even words as simple as woke will take down. And by the way, YouTube overlords, woke. We need to prepare ourselves for our eventual YouTube takedown. which you can find us once again over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Over there if you like to hit the follow button. But yeah, it's amazing to see kind of the almost like I do feel that what she's saying like even like white privilege is loaded. You shouldn't say white privilege. And I like, okay, cool. Like I think that's great. But
if that was sincere, I would agree. I would prefer those terms were not used. Unfortunately, not only do they employ divisive terminology like this, they've also used terminology that, whatever you want to call them, the right Republicans also use and have weaponized, right? Like MAGA's like a swear word with these, right? Like things like that. They absolutely do the same thing as the right does with woke. The exact same thing.
Yeah, for sure. You hear that the MAGA Republicans or the woke
or
liberals,
QAnon, who I've never met a single person who unironically believes in my life, right? But you'll be called QAnon. I don't even know where you would find a QAnon.
Yeah, it's
the only thing faker than QAnon is the outrage around QAnon, as far as I'm concerned.
QAnon just sounds like a burrito or a taco.
Well, yeah, there's
QAnon, please.
There's the Qdoba. There's Qdoba burritos. Yes. Oh. Which is an actual place. Qdoba. Yes. I don't know what it's called. Okay.
Adobada QAnon guacamole.
With extra queso. With
a side of queso.
That's right. Black beans. All right, so let's go to somebody who was like, hey, it may be good to hear other perspectives, to somebody who says, no, you should not hear other perspectives. As we move over to the comic book world, this is from Bounding into Comics. There was and I'm not familiar with these people, but I just think this is an interesting story. This is a former DC publisher Dan DiDio. Is that correct?
DiDio, yeah. He used to be the head honcho at DC, got fired a couple of years ago, I think.
Okay. So the headline here, numerous comic professionals support artist Jamal Igle, ending his personal ending his personal and business relationships with former DC publisher Dan DiDio for doing an interview with John Del Rose. Okay, so why does this matter, right? Apparently, John Del Rose is must be a horrible person if Dan DiDio does an interview with John Del Rose and someone is willing to end their personal and business relationships for them, right? So let's go check out this story here. Artist Jamal Igle, who worked on a number of DC titles such as Supergirl, The Ray, Firestorm, and others, recently announced he's ending his relationship with former DC publisher Dan DiDio.
What were you going steady? What is that? Ends relationship. What is that?
Terminated.
I'm done. I'm done with you. After
here's your promise ring back.
Like, yeah, fucking high school over here,
right?
With former DC publisher Dan DiDio after he did an interview with John Del Rose. I think a rose is a word for rice of the rice. Isn't a rose rice in Spanish? I think so. But anyways, and he's receiving praise and support from a number of comic book professionals. So DiDio did an interview with John Del Rose earlier this week to promote his Ancient Enemies comic book series. He also discussed his current gripes with the comic book industry, as well as explaining why woke ideology is rampant in comics. So Igle reacted to DiDio doing the interview with Del Rose on his Facebook account, where he posted, "I just unfriended an ex-employer for crossing a line that they can never come back from. Once you cross the Comicsgate line, we're done. Professionally and personally."
All right, Christian Bale.
You
and me were fucking done professional. You want me to trash your fucking lights? Fucking literally.
The idea that by the way, the line in the sand is when you unfriend somebody on Facebook, by the way. I want you to know this, right? No contact will be made. And I don't know the first thing about Del Rose, right? I don't know anything about this guy's politics. I don't know anything about what this guy thinks or his stance on. I guess the only thing that for me would probably cross the line is if he's like, listen, this entire race of people should die. Then you should probably not associate with him, right? But maybe Racer, do you know anything more about this guy's his politics, or why it would be so inferior?
We follow each other on social media. He's never said anything super spicy that I've seen. He's right of center-ish, but he's a really prolific like author. He writes sci-fi books and westerns, and he's primarily an author. That's the main thing. Like, that's why I followed him, because I write books. He writes books. We're kind of in the same space. He's all in on the Iron Age of media, and I guess he's kind of affiliated with the Comicsgate people. I think that's what this is really about, is the Comicsgate. He even dropped the name Comicsgate, that's the big kind of movement of former DC and Marvel professionals. Ethan Van Sciver's one. There have been several others, Mike Barron, who have all either been fired or they're persona non grata in the industry, and so they've created their own independent projects and whatever. My words to Jamal Igle over there, buddy, you can't cancel Dan DiDio because he's not one of your books, bitch. Like, all of the DC stuff is like, seriously, they're down to what, 15 running titles? Marvel and DC are literally, they're like POWs. They've seriously tightened the belt so much. They're lean, mean. They have virtually no titles that they're publishing anymore, and it's only going to increase as time goes on. I honestly see this as job protection. I think that's what it really comes down to. It's kind of like the pro wrestling business. You look for any reason at all to disqualify somebody from being employed. And if Dan DiDio comes back knocking on the door of the professional comic industry, they don't want him getting a job. And he used to be the publisher of one of the major companies. So that's a genuine possibility, right? That's all this is.
So this from Wikipedia, which we know can be trusted. Comicsgate is a campaign in opposition to diversity and progressivism in the North American superhero comic book industry. Like, its proponents target the creators hired, the characters depicted, and the stories told, and maintain that these elements have led to a decline in both quality and sales.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're saying that by forcing these things, that it's led to a decline in both quality and sales, which I think quality is subjective, right?
Right.
This is objective. Sales is something that you can actually see.
Oh yeah.
And is that accurate? I mean, have comic sales fallen through the roof?
Head on over to, back in the day, Comicron used to report sales. I think they don't really have accurate numbers anymore, largely because some of these companies stopped reporting, accurately because the sales were so bad. But really, it's the tail of the tape. Look at how many titles DC and Marvel were publishing just pick a year in the last 15 years. Like, pick 2005, 2006, 2007. Pick any year there and compare it to where we are now. It's like half as many titles, if not less. You print more if there's more demand for your product. They're printing less. That's a pretty objective metric, I think. And the sales are obvious. Hell, go into one of the 3 remaining comic stores on this spinning cerulean orb we currently inhabit. I mean, that'll pretty well tell you exactly how the comic industry is doing.
So this guy did an interview DiDio, this guy has a pretty large audience, and you said he's fairly liberal. This DiDio is that the idea, or
that's the funny thing. I've only had a passing conversation with him one time at New York Comic-Con years and years ago. Struck me as pretty left of center, kind of like Joe Quesada. I got to talk with both of them at the same event because I was hooked up with a company at the time. DiDio is not right of center at all politically. He was behind a lot of this wokeness being pushed into comics. He gave interviews on that subject. I remember, for example, when Batwoman was launched in the New 52. And, she's a lady golfer now, right? She's a lesbian. That's the big gimmick with her character. And when that happened, he gave a bunch of interviews to whoever, the GLAAD publication, this gay and lesbian oriented publication, and he made a big deal out of it, right? He mentioned it as being kind of a social issue that DC was trying to push. So he's not really like socially or politically really aligned with the right. I think what's really happened is now he has to subsist in the independent space. So he has to talk to people that he wouldn't have had to talk to before. You notice Dan DiDio didn't give any interviews to John Della Rose or Ethan Van Sciver or anybody else prior to this, but now he has to exist. Now he actually has to eat where he shits, right? So he now has to get down with the groundlings.
Right. And I think that what's interesting about this is the idea that this goes back to, in the previous story, you had this lady's like, look, it's good to hear other perspectives. Right. And when you look at the response to this guy unfriending and ending his personal and professional relationship simply for talking to somebody else, right, for an extended amount of time, it's this mob mentality where people are like, I have no idea who this person is, but yeah, I'm in. And there's a person down here. Who should I not cover / support now? Right? It's like, wow. That's crazy, simply because of one person saying, I didn't like this. It's just fascinating to see kind of the mob mentality attached to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, it's crazy.
And it's happened a lot, but they'll bend over backwards for other people in the industry. You remember that story with, what was his name? Ardian Syaf, the artist of X-Men? Muslim guy. Okay. Fine. Except that he started inserting some rather spicy Islamic viewpoints into his artwork in X-Men. Okay, so Shadowcat is Jewish in the comics. He drew a panel where she was standing there and there was a jewelry store behind her and her head cut off the rest of the word and it just said Jew. And then Colossus was running around with like Quran verses on his shirt that were all about, because I guess he's from like Indonesia or something like that. And so there was some kind of controversy going on in Indonesia with regard to gays or lesbians or something like that. And he started inserting little Quran verses that were anti-lesbian, anti-gay, whatever.
Wow.
Probably the first guy in history that Islam ever prevented from blowing up. And fucking Marvel and DC absolutely cut this guy off. But they bent over backward before that. Like he was only placed briefly on suspension, right? For like 15 minutes. And then they started looking back through his comics. Yeah, it was X-Men Gold. Somebody just pointed that out. It was X-Men Gold. They started looking back through his panels and they were like, oh shit, this guy's Osama bin Laden. And finally fired. Right? But dude, if you revealed that you were just registered Republican, they'd fire you on the spot. Right. It's yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. It's kind of like the going back and like you see the stuff that's in the old Disney movies, like with the underlying of sex and all that stuff, where the just the tiny little subliminal messages attached to it that you don't see until you really look for them. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. People always trying to fit their shit in there. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens with this. Probably nothing because, but remember, don't talk to anybody because you'll be canceled because that's how it works nowadays, which is important. Let's go to a lighter note here. Mortal Kombat 1 is out. Johnny Cage is a, top character in the Mortal Kombat franchise. But did you know, Razor, that Johnny Cage is not Johnny Cage's real name? Did you know this?
It's a stage name. He's an actor.
Yes. It is indeed a
Johnny Cagenstein.
No, it is not. That's a good guess, though. No, his real name.
Wait, can we guess?
Oh yeah, we
should. Benjamin.
Johnny Benjamin. Oh, just
just Benjamin.
Just Benjamin?
Yeah, just Benjamin.
Razor, do you got any more great names?
Quick Japanese lesson for you all. The Japanese word for poop is Ben. Yeah. It's true.
Oh.
So when you be like, I went to Big Ben, it's like,
yes.
okay.
Yes. And toilet is Benjo, which literally means Jo is place. So it's literally shit place.
Nice.
I love that. I love Japanese.
Anyway.
Man, at one point somebody was named Ben. Like
yeah.
Like someone came over from Japan, they named their child Ben, and was like, yeah, this makes sense.
Okay.
This goes back to a we were talking about
Ben. I know.
Okay.
I've told this story before, but I just want to tell this really quick. So back in my early 20s, I would work for a company that worked for Coca-Cola, right? When we'd go out and do these like road activations and go to the parks and go to Six Flags, and we'd go around and play music and play games with kids, right? That was the idea. You want to get kids hooked on Coke early on, right? And so we'd go to these like charity, or we'd go to these community centers, and some of these community centers were like in the hood, and we were playing with this one group of kids, and we were talking to one of the afterwards. We were talking to one of the, I don't know, community leaders or something, and she's like, pointed out one kid in particular. And she's like, this kid's never had a break in his life, starting from when he was born. And his name was Shahid. And if you spell out Shahid, Shithhead, his name was actually Shithead. His parents named him Shithead and pronounced it Shahid.
It's like in Robin Hood Men in Tights. Lestrange or Lestrade or whatever her name was, the witch. Like, it used to be a shit house.
Yeah. There was a regular customer at the comic store I used to work at whose name was Mac Kessa, and his middle initial was A. And we literally used to write it as he was Mac a cheese. He was Mac a cheese. Chesse. Just one E away. Just one away. It's almost Mac a cheese.
Names, man. Yes. Fucked up. Okay, speaking of names, back to Johnny Cage's real name.
Yes, I was gonna say I didn't even guess yet. I'm going Chaim Cajunblatt.
Just a little bit off. His real name is John Carlton, named after an artist from NBA Jam, which I thought this was kind of fun. He's named after a real guy. But he also had his original name in the game was supposed to be Michael Grimm. So pretty good stuff. I thought that was interesting. I always love those little tidbits of knowledge in the video game.
He was originally going to be Steve Kill Guy.
Listen, Michael's almost the same as Benjamin, and I win.
Yeah, you did. Way to go, Blab.
Practically the same thing.
It's the
Congratulations. The Hylian Juggalo came in with a 5, says, finally, someone who supports DNF. It was mid, but at least it tried to be different in this era of brown bloom military that everyone oversaturates. But I'm a Duke Nukem Forever. Thank you, Hylian Juggalo.
Serious question. Was Duke Nukem Forever the first boomer shooter? Right? That's a big thing now. Kind of retro, whatever. Like, it was kind of a boomer shooter, and it was way ahead of the curve on that. It was like what, 2012, something like that.
Well, because it was originally developed to be played during.
It wasn't so much a boomer shooter as it was just really fucking late.
Right.
Yeah,
you might be right on that. I mean, look at that. Duke Nukem Forever, if you really think about it, has changed the industry now and has developed its own genre again, which is way to go, Duke. You did it again. Kyle says ridiculousness was awesome. Teen Mom became less reality when they started making bank and struggling less. Farrah Abraham is the GOAT. I'm not sure who Farrah Abraham is, but like that's what MTV is. Speaking of MTV, that's all it is. It's like the ridiculousness channel. If you go and you look at like the time slots on it, it's just after boom, 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 ridiculous for hours and hours and hours, which is more or less just a clip show. It's like America's Funniest Home Videos for, kids who are high. Critical Orc Theory says the term "wah" card is deeply offensive to me. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Critical Orc Theory. Hopefully you'll be able to surpass your trauma. Sir Ubisan says Ken means fist, but what does razor mean in Nippon?
Razor. That's all it means.
Okay.
That's the thing about Japanese is if they can't figure out a word for something, they'll just use the English word and mispronounce it.
Razor.
Yeah, stick a little accent on it.
Mm-hmm.
Extra Zero says, I know a Maurice Lester who went by Mo. Oh, no. Mo Lesta? Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oof, that's
rough.
If he did it to himself, I have no sympathy
Yeah.
for Mo on that.
You brought this upon yourself.
Yeah. One Man Army Swamp Party came back, says, all right, I'm gonna head out. Also, gonna see the band Chicago tomorrow live in Daytona. Rest in peace to Terry Kath, one of the best guitar players in history. Well, thank you very much for your support. I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for popping in today. Retro Jim says, DSP has revealed he is no longer, oh no. Okay. He is no longer a content creator, but now a content curator. Says creator makes content for everyone. Curators are just for a niche. Well, thanks, Retro Jim. Listen.
Well, his audience size is certainly getting more niche by the day.
Retro Jim, thanks for keeping us updated on all the DSP.
Yeah, right. The fucking breaking news updates on DSP. What did he switch to the European grip yesterday?
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds hilarious.
Yeah. He does it streams now with a squeegee next to the screen and a spring-loaded tissue dispenser.
Asher says there's a Tears of Kingdom review in the works. Not that I know of, not from our side, but maybe a Razor.
Oh, for me, yeah, I'm actually playing through the game. It's such a long game, though. Oh. It's the problem with Tears of the Kingdom is you intend to do a review and then you spend the next 18 uninterrupted days building fantasy robots.
Yes. I think that's, you get distracted very easily when it comes to games like that, the open world games. That's kind of the fun of them, though. The new kid, IKB, came in and says, the only thing worse than MTV is TLC. Oh, yeah, man. The transition from the Learning Channel to, Kate plus 8 was fascinating to see how that happened. This is how you make 8 babies. The Mephetic Mias, okay, I'm sorry, I just butchered your name, says, I saw records for a kid named Phoenix Feathers. Best name ever.
That
Phoenix
is pretty
Feathers.
Cool.
I think you may have it beat because I can't pronounce it. Mephetic Miasma. I butchered it again. That's stuff.
Miasma, I think.
Miasma. I don't know. I'm really bad at stuff.
Miasma.
All right. Oh, miasma. Okay. Listen, it has been well established that I am a horrible reader, and which is why I read everything on this show, which is good. All right. Well, let's talk. That's why I like to play video games, not read books. Right. I like to have them read to me. It's the new age. All right. I love these things, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, Razor. I love it when there are fan ports who make games that aren't necessarily relevant today on consoles that haven't been relevant for 40 years. And that is what has happened with a fan-made port of SNK versus Capcom that has been made for the Commodore 64. Which, by the way, looks fucking spectacular.
Wow.
It's really pretty amazing that they're able to do this on something like the Commodore 64.
Nice. And they got the chibi giant head graphics going on. I love it.
Yes.
Just once, I want the reverse of that in the game. I want like Zika baby graphics. Like just get those little tic tac heads on the characters. I'm just saying.
just super tiny, yeah.
Yeah.
But how they do this, I don't know. I have no idea. There's no way that they're working on this with original hardware. There's like, maybe I'm just totally off, and I probably am. But the idea that it's running at what looks like 60 frames, it's probably 30 frames, but the fact that it's running at a smooth frame rate and has those animations in it is just absolutely fascinating to me that they're able to pull this off. Yeah. But the final question I have is like, this is all incredibly cool, but why? I guess that's the
See, you're thinking about this wrong. The real question is why not? The fuck?
Yeah.
People still play Commodore 64 emulators. I mean, look at it this way. Ain't a new game been released for N64 in a while, but people make there's whole fan games of especially wrestling games, I notice, for N64, right? They're the fully modded, no mercy. There's like original titles now for N64, and some of them are really cool. What is it, like Wrestle Showdown or something like that? I can't remember what it was, but dude, there's some awesome games. And I think it's mainly for the emulator scene. I play Commodore 64 emulators a fair bit. The Death Wish game on that, Death Wish 3 is one of the first sandbox games ever. It's a really cool game.
That's yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I wonder if somebody is like developing that with the intention of like releasing it on original hardware, like putting it on a cart and releasing. Like, how many do they realistically sell? 15? You know, like 20?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I think I'm
especially looking at the video game collectors market. You know what I mean? Like, for Christ's sake, the prices on things, clearly there's some kind of demand.
That's what we should do. Like,
I love seeing that stuff.
Panel with all that stuff. Everyone just come on, talk about what they spent for video games and show off their retro games.
Ugh. What a great transition, Blabs. Speaking of panels, coming up this Thursday, what do we have going on?
Blabs is transitioning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the story of the day.
What do you call it? Blabo now, I guess. A male, put a no at the end of it. Hi, everyone. I'm Blabo. Anyway, this Thursday we have an Ahsoka panel where we talk all the pros and cons about Ahsoka. We will be having both sides on the panel. We have Star Wars Santa coming on. We have Rogue Attraction. We have Disbrew, Eric from You, Me, and the Movies. We have Grant Gregory. So noon Eastern. Be there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, usual time on Thursday. We're gonna do one of our round tables, see how this works. Another Star Wars one. We'll see what happens. So let's move over to this. Was kind of interesting.
Although at the rate you guys are getting sick, Craig will be down with like dengue fever by then.
He's gonna have like Ebola.
I'm gonna have disco fever next week, I'm sure.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. You show up in full disco gear. And that'd be amazing. Just big old razor fro popping out there.
Oh, dude, all I have to do is not do my hair for one day. I look like Chewbacca shaved.
That's great. All right, speaking of Star Wars, we've got this was kind of interesting as BioWare, the Knights of the Old Republic is thought of as like one of the better games in the Star Wars video game fandom and the world, right? And there's talk of a KOTOR remake, but hence the trailer has now been made private, and pretty much everything about the game has been deleted over time. So there's thoughts of them just totally pulling the idea in the game. Blabs, you wanted to talk about this?
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually never played the game, so I have the game. I've just never played it, and I probably should, or else I'll get eaten alive by everyone. Yeah. But I think it's pretty interesting that they're saying, "Oh, Star Wars is so great, Star Wars is doing so well," and then they go and pull the plug on this. I think the other one, Star Wars Eclipse, we saw a trailer for it, and then nothing for 2 years now. Like, that's probably dead. Also, we don't know anything about it. And the last Star Wars game that just came out was broken on release, and the EA even released a statement saying, we know it's shit, but here you go anyway. So we'll see. I think the remake's dead, considering they pulled the plug and deleted everything and made everything private. So, rip.
So it seems to be that people are happy about that, because I think it's one of those things where when you see a remake now, there's the modernization of games.
Oh, there's a gigantic fucking monkey paw that is down one finger. Thank God.
And a lot of people seem to be happy that it's been pulled, which I think at a certain point, don't you just leave it best for nostalgia? If you really want to play it, you can go back and play it on the OG and play it in its original form. It's funny because I've heard that a lot as we talked about OG games, OG movies, OG comics, whatever, where there's reissuing or TV edits or the idea of things being removed from certain movies, things that have been changed to adapt for modern audiences. And Disney obviously has a way of I think of like what's the damn movie with the was based out of Hawaii? Not the new one, not Moana, but the old one, Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
where,
I love Lilo and Stitch.
Right, and there was
what
a scene
did change
where they,
about that?
Oh, there's a scene where they completely remove like the washing machine, or was it an oven, and then they swapped it out for a cabinet or something like that. Or they put like a pizza door on it. It's the wildest shit.
Yeah, they went in and
they still haven't removed the penis towers from Little Mermaid. What the fuck?
There was penis towers in Little Mermaid.
You don't remember?
I learned, the more you know, just happened again.
See, I'm educating all y'all.
Yeah, man, get that Disney education.
What they did was, which is it's also kind of weird if you think about it.
It doesn't even really fix anything either.
Right. In the original Lilo and Stitch, she gets in a washing machine, and I guess they don't want kids getting in washing machines. So they changed it, and it looks like there's a pizza box on it, but at the same time, it also kind of looks like an oven.
Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, kids, don't crawl into a washing machine. Crawl into a lit pizza oven.
So, like little things like that, So anyways, pray for all children today, which is good. Speaking of Disney, they our buddy Drunk 3PO over on Twitter on Friday, I believe, was the last day of the Galactic Star Cruiser. Rest in peace to one of the as Jay says, one of the biggest failures in Star Wars history. What were your thoughts on the Galactic Star Cruiser, Razor? Did you ever see this?
Man, I have been giddily ignoring what's been happening with Star Wars and theme parks for the last several years. Was this the hotel thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the Star Wars hotel. So this thing failed with flying colors. I am aware of this.
Yeah. So they finally
Yeah. This wound up being like Hotel Rwanda by the end.
Oh shit.
Yes. Apparently there was Jay was saying in the middle of its run, the hotel was fit to have like 100 to 150 people, and they would have between like 10 and 15 people in the entire hotel on a day-to-day basis because it was so fucking expensive.
Yeah, all employees.
Right. Yeah. All employees out there doing their acting in front of nobody. Yeah. Sad.
I've seen some of the acting for like when they're supposed to be like using the force to lift these rocks. Oh, it's horrific. Like the whole story and everything. And then, the choreography with the fights where Rey clearly stoops down and picks up a different lightsaber that's ignited. She's like, aha! Like, oh gosh, it's terrible. No wonder it flopped. Let's be real.
Yeah. So anyways, rest in peace there, Galactic Star Cruiser. Sorry about your losses, Disney.
We hardly stayed in ye.
Speaking of what surely will be another failure, this news came out over the weekend, which was just absolutely fascinating to see. Another remake is coming from Disney in the form of Bambi.
And in this one, there's going to be hunters in a Jeep with a semi, and they're actually going to... You saw that video, right?
No.
No. You saw that video going around Twitter this week.
That's the big controversy now. Is
unloading on all the feral hogs. Yes.
Killing wild feral hogs with a machine gun in a Jeep. You make the new Bambi that. Fuck. I'll go watch it.
Yes. So apparently, this is done with the interview. Came out this past week from Lindsay Anderson Beer, who I guess is writing it and putting it together. Says, I do think there's a way to update Bambi, and our take on it did give it a little bit more of a scope to it. And I just think that being able to bring it to life for kids these days in a way that maybe they can relate to a bit more would be a service to the original, right? So how would she change it, right? Exactly?
I can hear the climate change sermon from here. It's coming.
Nah, she's got two moms. No, Bambi has two moms.
But it's two mommies.
Or Felicia has like two dads or something like that. Whatever her name was.
Right. Well, the talk is that they're going to remove her mother, or Bambi's mother, being killed in it, which is like because it's
defeats the purpose.
Right. It's kind of the whole idea behind Bambi, and the idea that it's too traumatizing for children these days. Which I just think I mean, I hate to say this, but isn't that kind of part of growing up, is seeing things that you don't necessarily like, or you may not just make you feel uncomfortable? Like, that's how we get safe spaces in college, and people feeling triggered by microaggressions and shit, because you aren't exposed to things like a fictional deer having its mother killed by a hunter.
But you have to have the conflict and the peril.
Exactly.
Like that's the core of the story. So who's going to die? Thumper? Like, what are you going to do? You know, someone's going to get clapped. Like, this is Bambi. So who's it going to be?
Bambi's dad, and the mom's trying to save the dad.
It's going to be the hunter, and he's going to be wearing a MAGA hat. That's what it is.
Somewhat, yeah. I don't understand how they can modernize this. It's literally like the thing becomes almost like an orphan until he finds his dad later on.
I like the idea, right? The idea of this guy comes around the corner and he's like, he's got his red cap on. He's totally, he got his AK-47. He's like, I'm trying to kill everything in my way. And as he said, goes around and in his gun pulls up and unloads on Thumper and Bambi, and it just ends 5 minutes in.
Right.
The end.
Just leaves the corpses to rot in the field.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Anyways, the thought process on this is people have not necessarily agreed with the idea of remaking Bambi. But then again, what have people really agreed with or enjoyed about Bambi? Or any, so I'm sorry, not about Bambi, but any of the Disney remakes in the last decade or so?
Nope.
Oh shit. Is it just like a rights issue, trying to keep them alive?
Probably.
Because they're going through all of them, and it's not like demand is running wild. Is that what it's about? Because I've never actually looked into this to confirm. But like, I mean, Pinocchio, they remade Pinocchio, and there was already a live action remake of Pinocchio in the early 2000s, wasn't there? Like they waited like 12 years to make a new one? What the fuck?
I think...
According here, it says Winnie the Pooh and Bambi titles are now public domain. This was January 5th, 2022. I don't know how accurate this is, but if that's the case, now we know why they're making Bambi again.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yes, because there's the Winnie the Pooh horror film that came out.
Yeah, that's terrifying with Piglet and Tigger. Ugh.
Right. Sounds hilarious.
No, this is terrible.
And that came out. But... yeah, I do think that they are trying to. I don't know if it's necessarily a rights issue, but maybe a lot of the early Disney movies were spun off. I don't know if this is the case with Bambi, but a lot of the early Disney movies were based off existing fairy tales already. So I don't know if that's the case with Bambi, but it just goes back to the age-old thing, like, why do we need to remake this? And it may be because of rights, but we'll see. I do think that'd be really funny if somebody made like a YouTube video that was Bambi today, and it started off with a full intro, and then it went to that scene of the viral hogs, being shot. And by
yes,
Bambi.
No, it'll be like Thumper will have a life partner, and that's the modern Disney.
Thumper's a they them, okay?
Right?
Thumpet.
Yes, love it. Abdulio came in with a 3, says some fan project recommendations for the panel. Duke Nukem Forever restoration, working on completing the leaked 2001 build of Duke Nukem Forever into a full completed game. They've made some very good progress and release steady update videos and streams. Oh, that's interesting. So they're trying to remake the original Duke Nukem Forever. That's fun. Abdulio followed up, says Star Fox Event Horizons made on the Free Space 2 engine, 5 fully voiced levels you can play all the way to Andros without the voices for now. They intend to cover adventure, assault, and command, as well as reimagine as proper Star Fox levels. Abdulio, that's interesting. Thanks for the insight on that. Pretty interesting. Sal came into the...
Oh, sorry. I wonder if they'll do it classic third person, or if it'll be more of a space sim like Free Space is. I'm curious to see how they handle that.
Zero says they got the OG actors for that one. That's crazy.
Nice.
Man.
Is it now? Is it OG?
That's for like a.
Is it Star Fox 64 voice actors, or is it like SNES? Like that, right?
Right.
Which one?
Murder damage. Yeah. Right. Sal came into the 2, says comic book sales are so bad that they're adding scholastic manga and indie comics to comic book sales, so the industry didn't look so dire. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
And dude came in with the $1 Rumble rant, says you have to be careful, Blabs, when using that technique to defend yourselves. Some guys are into women giving them the pain down there. That's right.
I did not know that. Is that real?
Well, yeah. Didn't you include the clip of the guy getting kicked by that hooker the other day in the balls?
Oh yeah,
that was getting passed around.
That can't. Nah, normal men. Come on, you don't want pain down there. That's just fucking weird. That's just weird. I'm not gonna go and punch your dick, okay? Weirdos.
Blabs, dick puncher.
Yeah.
Dude says, if someone who thinks Breath of the Wild is at least I'm someone who thinks Breath of the Wild is my least favorite Zelda game. I've finished. Just deviates too much from the formula, and I got tired of the open world long before the game is unfinished. Thanks, dude. And Random Nobody came in with the $20 Rumble rant. Thank you so much, Random Nobody. Says Duke Nukem Forever is and will always be a great game. I know you can control your pee in that game, which is always fun when you go to the urinal. It's always little fun mini games.
That and Conker's Bad Fur Day, all the best games. You can control your urine stream, unlike our president. All right, continue.
Shit, you can't control that, dude. With the $1, it says Bambi's mom is going to leave Bambi for another buck instead of dying. She's going to force Bambi onto his father. Oh, thanks,
nah,
dude.
Bambi's mom's going to leave him and go for like another female deer.
Right. You know, she's probably writing the film as we're watching them.
She's like, oh, write that down. That's good
right?
shit. That's good shit.
Great idea. Love it.
Kathleen Kennedy literally scrolled.
One man's army swamp. Says, also, if y'all are in Clearwater, Florida on a Monday, Hulk Hogan hosts karaoke parties at his bar every Monday, 8 p.m. It's worth it. Anyways, later, y'all. Man, I would love to do that on a Monday night. Go do some Hulk Hogan karaoke.
The real Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. The new reviews came in with the $4.99. Says, well, don't you all look cool today? That's right.
Hi, Megan.
It's Monday, Glasses Monday. Sal came in with the 2, says the hunters would be MAGA hats. Would be MAGA hats in the remake. That's right. Thank you, Sal. Blake with the 2 says, despite having antlers, Bambi will be a doe. That's right.
So a deer, a male deer.
Yeah. The MAGA hat hunter will square up a shot, get ready to drop the buck, and all of a sudden he'll turn and go, "Did you just assume my gender, motherfucker?" That's literally what's gonna happen.
It's a doe, a deer, a male deer. Get it right. It's a fucking male deer.
It's Mambi. It's Mambi.
The new IKB says, if you think Bambi is traumatizing, watch Watership Down and Animals in Farthingwood. Okay, I will not be watching that.
Oh, do you want better? Land Before Time. That's traumatic.
Oh, that is fucked up. Yes.
You know, this many Land Before Time films deep, you would have thought they would have reached time.
True.
They are on like 15 or something, which is insane.
Right.
It's like 20 of them.
Jesus.
Blitz Nostradamus says, at some point, these people trying to modernize everything need to realize that traumatic shit in media is necessary for kids to develop. Don Bluth's work demonstrates this principle perfectly. Thanks, Blitz Nostradamus. I don't disagree. Shane came in with the $9.99, says, I'm calling it. I bet they're going to remake The Sandlot with an all-girl cast, and the whole movie is about taking it, quote, to the boys. Also, the Beast will be a misunderstood female dog.
The Beast will be Cicero, actually.
Shane, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could absolutely see it. Mercenary X21 says, because T-Cell won't sing it. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Also, I'm seeding the song. I'm seeding the Song of the South fan restoration just out of spite. My contribution.
It's terrible.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Mercenary. Fully Problematic says, they already made the best Bambi reboot. Bambi meets Godzilla. Classic.
No, nice.
Wait, that's a thing?
Right?
Find it, Blabs.
Okay.
The Orc Theory says, one does not hunt Bambi's mom from a Jeep. Not when she gets a job moderating. Moderating Twitch. There you go. Right. King came back. King in 64 says, Razor is a comic book connoisseur. Do you think Eric July's ISOM saved the Western comic book industry?
I haven't read it yet, but I'm glad to see he's had a ton of success. I think that's pretty cool. Look, any independent creator being that successful is good for other independent creators. So, I mean, it probably some of the momentum of that helped my own comic project when I was doing my Indiegogo. Ghost of the Badlands.
Check it out. Ghost of Badlands. Tommy Reviews with a 5 says, they had variant covers to help pad the sales. Just go to your local Barnes and Nobles and count how many shelves manga have more than graphic novels.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. And I remember working in a comic store already. The manga section, it was like every 5 months or so we'd have to expand it because we were getting more and more manga and more people were buying it. And that was years ago. That was before the comic industry really started falling off the shit cliff. But now it's really post-apocalyptic in the, again, 5 remaining comic book stores.
I keep saying manga. Manga.
I mean, it's fine. They mispronounce all our English words. What the fuck?
Speaking the English. Emperor Creatine came in with the 5, says, speaking of traumatic kids movies, what are your opinions on Ralph Bakshi's Coonskin?
I've never seen it. I don't know. I like Ralph Bakshi cartoons. You ever see Fire and Ice?
No. I just saw the NES video game Fire and Ice.
Great. It's a fantasy movie. It's like a sword and sorcery kind of a thing. Oh, it's great. It's absolutely great. He also did the Lord of the Rings cartoon, in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Blabs, do you have something pulled up for us?
I do. So this is real. This is a thing. I did not know that, but I'm not gonna
what?
play this
1969?
Yeah, I won't play the audio because we'll get, flagged.
Right.
But it's a thing. Look, there it is.
Does Bambi ever meet Mecha Godzilla?
I don't know. It's just oh, here we go, right there. Oh! Well, I didn't. Oh, okay. So
brilliant.
I love it.
Just brilliant.
That's it.
And everything that it should be.
Nice. To acknowledge the city of Tokyo? What the hell is this?
That's what King Kong should have done to Godzilla. God damn it.
Ah. I could have lived my whole life without saying that.
Oh. Okay. Mercenary says, also see you, Razor, on the next hunt event.
Oh yeah, Hunt Showdown. It's one of my favorite games. They're going to be doing an event in the next few days, the Halloween event.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that.
Then
if you haven't played that yet, by the way, it's a good game to stream. It's really brutally difficult, and you'll be embarrassed in front of your own audience, which those are always fun.
Yes, that's speaking of embarrassment. I'll be doing the hot dog into my mouth here in about
there we go. Get that penile porch swing going. Let's do it.
Abdulio came back, says, speaking of the Star Fox fan game, says they have the original Star Fox Bill from N64, as well as the original Crystal from Adventure. Levels play in all range mode. You can search Star Fox Event Horizon playable demo number 1 on YouTube to see the live action. Well, thanks, Abdulio. Appreciate that. All right,
some Star Fox.
There you go. Let's finish up with a nice little happiness to finish up the day. We always like to end on a high note. And Blab sent this over. There's a little boy from England, it sounds like, and it's his birthday. His dreams are coming true. And I thought we'd like to end on a high note here before we get to our memes. So here we go. Blabs thought this would be good. Check it out. Just check out how happy this young lass is right here.
That's a dude. So lad.
That's a bro.
Damn it, Craig.
What'd you say?
That's a bro.
Yeah, it's a dude. You just assumed his gender.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you're one of them,
Yes.
aren't you, Craig?
This little lad. Yes, absolutely.
That's a microaggression, Craig.
My fault. My fault. Here we go. Well, he is 6, so I guess he is old enough to assume to make his own decisions. So
yeah,
that's right. Thinks he's getting some Legos. Nope.
Aww.
Puppy dog.
I mean, look at his face.
Oh. And Cicero instinctively wanders over, by the way.
I love it.
It's just so sweet. I figured it'd be a little nice thing to start the Monday with, happiness.
Cyber just says, what is it? A feral hog?
This isn't that kind of TikTok video.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. I would. All right, let's finish up with some memes here, which are always appreciated. Blabs, I think I'm going to have you pull these up moving forward.
Okay.
I see you guys say I'm coming in and out. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it has to do with me sharing my screen and stuff. But here we go. We got this one coming in first from Superman. Oh, here we go. This is nice. From at No Green Rocks over on Twitter. Says, looks like RazörFist. Looks like Razor Fever.
Yes. Monday Night Fever, bitches.
Look at him go. Love that.
And unlike Travolta, I will never come out of the closet.
Did he come out? Is he gay?
Oh, come on.
Did he say he's gay?
Come on.
My parents think he's gay too. That's ironic.
Think.
But
I like
he
him
was married to that lady who died in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
for
him and
the longest
Liberace.
time.
I liked him in Wild Hogs, which I guess also could be the way he spends with his weekend.
Oh my gosh.
What? Not the
just
feral
funny.
hogs, the other way. All right. Blabs knows who Johnny Cage is. It's John Benjamin. There it is. It's Johnny Cage. Nice. Thank you very much. This one also from No Green Rock says RazörFist working those nuts.
Height isn't an issue. The height actually becomes an advantage. You could work those nads like.
Nailed it.
And
then we got this one from
the internet is the greatest invention ever.
No Green Rocks and the Legion doing what they do. We got this one from Extra Zero. Says, if you ever wonder what Adam is up to when he's not on Side Scroller, so he's out catching the Smurfs. Look at that. That's nice. Well, you can find Adam and Flawed on Wednesdays here on the show, which is
nice. Good. Love that dude.
Good. And we got this from Extra Zero. It says, how I imagine Razor experiencing watching UHF. Here you go. Yeah. What the fuck is this movie, Craig? Listen. He'll love it. He'll love it. Why am I in this swimsuit? I don't understand.
I don't know.
You're doing the hot dog
I think they're
challenge
getting they're getting ready for your hot dog exhibition, I think is what's happening here.
Oh my God. I'm really looking forward to this. Then we got this one from No Green Roxy as well.
You gotta have a kielbasa anywhere near your mouth. You prefer the smallest, can I? Oh.
What the hell was that?
What just happened?
I don't know.
I got it, even if you didn't.
What am I missing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it for risk of demonetization, but
okay.
I don't know. All Asian jokes look the same to me.
Oh gosh.
And then we got this one. It says Craig later today. And there's me just having my own sausage party. Maybe that's what I'll title the stream. Sausage party. All right. Well, if you guys want to find me over on the Side Scrollers Place channel, you can do that. The link is down below. I'll be heading over there in about probably about an hour or so. Probably, I think, right around 2:00. If it takes me an hour to get a sausage in my mouth, there's major issues. Major issues. I also would like to remind you that starting tomorrow on the Side Scrollers Place channel, the Mega Man Funathon starts tomorrow. It's going to be great. Looking forward to that. So make sure you guys are here. Razor, make sure you tell everybody where they can find you as we wrap up the show today.
Yes, I am at the Rageaholic on YouTube and on Twitter. It's RazörFist with a 0. Don't ask me why. Actually, it's because of the porn photographer I told you about earlier. He fucking stole my name. God damn it! It's identity theft. But yeah, you could check me out on there. We're of course going to be, we stream every single Friday. I'm on here every single Monday, and I'm usually ranting and raving at some point during the week. So, and of course, Starfield review coming up probably in the next week and a half.
Man, that's great. I love that like the idea of a review and like it being timely doesn't even matter to you.
I don't give a shit. I don't go, fuck. Love it.
Which says a lot about you and your audience, which is great. They come for you, which is great. So, all right, if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We'd love to see you guys back tomorrow when we're back at it. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. You guys have a great day. Oh, hold on. Did I miss anything? Damn it, I did. Hold on. Sorry. I want to make sure I get to these. Critical Theory says, Lord Biden uprising the throne is just a QNAR, the barbarian conspiracy theory. Third age, the sixth is worse than Cimmerian 11. I have no idea what.
Cimmerian.
That was an attempt at English.
I don't speak critical orc theory. I don't. I'm sorry. And then Mercenary came in and says, Razor, get Craig and crew to play Deep Rock Galactic.
Dude, you would like that game. You would. It's a fun game.
How dare you assume?
Space dwarves mining asteroids, and it's 4-player co-op. It's a blast.
Ooh,
yeah,
fun.
You would enjoy it.
All right, we'll see you guys over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel in just a little bit. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys tomorrow here on this channel. See you guys shortly over on the Plays channel. Bye-bye.